And, I really started rapping as a creative outlet. I was going through a lot in my life, and I really used it as something I could vent with, um, just an outlet for all of my thoughts, all of my feelings. And I started getting pretty good at it, and I really fell in love with music. When I started recording, I fell in love with the process, putting words together, everything, and I knew that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. It brings me a joy that nothing else in my life has ever brought me. And I'm a big believer in do what you love. You only got one life, and this is what I love to do. My process to get on Rhythm and Flow is a lot different than a lot of the other contestants. I did a show out in Atlanta during the A3C festival, and I had met with a guy named Shaka Zulu. Big ups to my guy Shaka. We played him some of the music. He loved the music. And he was good friends with Jesse Collins, who created the show. He then called him. They asked me, like, you want to be on TV? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm trying to be on TV. Who wouldn't? And, at that time, they didn't even know who the judges were going to be. A lot about the show wasn't revealed, the name, nothing. I just went in there kind of blind, auditioned in front of the casting directors out in Chicago. They loved it. And then a few months later, got the call that I was going to audition in front of Chance, Royce, and Twista. And that's the one the world saw. Being judged by hip-hop legends is a nerve-wracking experience, but it gave me the confidence in myself that I didn't know I had at that time. It kind of was like a stamp that I made the right decision, that I followed this dream. The fans that I gained from the experience has been the greatest part about being on the show. I got people all over the globe that love my music now. I had so many people reach out to me telling me that they relate to my story, that I gave them hope. I have people telling me that my music saved their life, and that means more than any dollar could. That's the best part about it. I think the biggest pressure after Rhythm and Flow was like, understanding like this is not the end game. But now I think the biggest pressure is trying to get my own identity in the industry and being known as Jakob Campbell, not that guy on that one show. My family and everything I went through has been the biggest drive throughout my whole life. I grew up very poor, and I went through a lot in my life, and that's what consistently makes me want to be the best and makes me want to make it. That's my constant drive. I promise I'm going to do them, and I promise I won't let them down. I think the biggest obstacle with being independent right now in today's landscape in music is talent isn't the driving force anymore. It's not the most important thing. That's the biggest obstacle, is learning how to market yourself, how to promote yourself, knowing that talent isn't just the #1 factor anymore. I think 2020 showed me a lot of things. The biggest thing is you got to learn it in life. Things aren't always going to go as planned, but you should always still stick to your goal. You can't lose sight of your main goal. Things may knock you back, but you got to learn how to keep going, how to keep moving. You can't just give up and quit like, oh, I'm done. You can't lose sight of the goal. It showed me that you got to find new ways to be creative, new ways to be yourself. TuneCore really gives the power back to independent artists. First of all, obviously through distributing our music to all DSPs, and that's a big help, especially without a label. Independent artists need that. Do it for cheap too, so they really help independent artists. From a reach perspective, TuneCore uses its own personal channels, like their socials, their website, to give write-ups and give independent artists looks that they might not get. So they're always looking out for me and other independent artists that use them. So, and then also with my day-to-day business, TuneCore helps out tremendously by letting me see who's streaming the music, all my statistics, all my streaming numbers, where my streams are at. It helps me find my demographics, where my fans are at, and it helps me collect all my revenue streams through all my DSPs all in one place. Helps me get paid easy, so they really help independent artists tremendously. TuneCore really gives me the freedom to move without a label, by distributing my music to all the outlets and also letting me keep all of my revenue for all of my music streams. They don't take no percentage, anything like that. It really is the greatest tool for an independent artist.